Okay, we're back on the motor here. So I had to go find some hardware. So he went and bought a kit because we're missing one stud. And he's got some nuts to go with it, so we'll use those. We have original case bolts, so we're going to use his original bolts for the top. And this is all original stuff here, so I'm going to go ahead and use this original stuff here also. Instead of using all this black stuff here, we're going to take what we can out of all this stuff here and use it. So I think I see that we're not going to use the nuts, so that's all we really need to use. I think we got everything else here. We got at least a 2 of everything else here. Alright, so let's see. One thing I'm not sure about is if I'm using this or not for the crankcase breather. I think we're still reusing it. So this goes right here over the bearings and keeps everything together that way. So I think we're going to still be using this. We're still using a stock design, so might as well use all the stock parts. Alright, so basically we need to load up the crankshaft over here, and the parts that go over here. Which really isn't all that much to do. So, lube it all up. So we got one thrust bearing we're going to use here. Get closer, you can see better. So it goes right there. That's good enough for that. Okay, left main bearing uses the double stack. It goes into here. Not sure which direction I had all this going. But easy, the way you do it is you put a thrust washer against that in there so it can get eaten up. And the rollers go on here. So they can go like this. And that little sleeve piece I made in there is basically what the cage is. See the thickness of the cage right there in the bottom? That's that shiny part, or dull part, that's the bottom of the cage. It recesses down in there, and the rollers are right up against the inside of the adapter piece in there. But hopefully not hitting on it. Jeez. Like I said before, this stuff only got maybe 5 thou tolerance at most. That's total, that's not each piece, that's it. That's all our in-plays are. Okay, this washer here would go protect the other piece in there. So put some oil on all of this stuff so it's not dry. So I got the smooth side and the rusty side. Rusty side goes out. Okay, that should go in there and protect that. Hopefully. Okay, so that's that side. This side over here is pretty much the same deal, just slightly different parts. bearing. Cage assembly. Same deal. Right up against the edge there. This one here, we take our little thin cage, not cage, dust washer. There's a little titty in there. It goes inside of this. There's a little hole right in there. I don't know if you can see it. That's where that goes, in there. That's what keeps the bearings from coming out the other side. Sports just put a snap ring on the shaft to do the same thing. It made it a lot easier. This one's different. Alright, so that should all go together without any problem. Now this has to go in as you slide the case in. This has to drop down inside this lip right here because it overlaps that lip. As I recall, you can't put it in once it's in, even though it looks like it might on this one, but as I recall, you couldn't do that. Sure looks like you can do it to me. We'll be checking that as we go together. Go ahead and put a little oil on that so it doesn't go rubby, rubby, rubby. And this seals the cavity between the flywheels and the cam chest. So you can draw a vacuum or pressurize, whatever you want to do. Whatever the motor is doing at that point. Alright, so this is ready to go together now. So we take out our 3-bond sealer. That'd be that number right there. You know, goop up everything. Oh, that is tight. Make channel lock sure. There you go. That has been open for a while. So I take a little bit on my finger. I'm going to smear it where I want it to go. Put a nice even coat all the way around. It doesn't have to be super thick, but you want an even coat. Dirty rags. There you go. That's what dirty rags are for. See, if that lip is so important, how come there's not one at the bottom? Makes you think. The reason it's there is to dowel the two cases together. So just off all the 3 dowel bolts. The cases register together also. It's a secondary alignment. Alright, there's that one. I'll do this one. You miss all the excitement here. So the key is to get the whole surface coated, not just every little spot. Nice even layer all the way across. Nothing super thick. Don't just take a tube and all around like that. That's how morons do stuff. 90% of it will be inside the motor, plugging up the oil galleries. It's a nice light coat. That's all that's needed. Alright, almost done. There we go. You can let it tack off for a couple minutes, doesn't hurt anything. Just don't let it dry too hard. Okay, so the right side is a little bit more harder to do than the left. I'm going to do the right side first and put the flywheels in. Usually I do it the other way around, but this one, I'm going to do it this way. You slip on the left one. Okay. One goes there. This is a doweling bolt, it's extra thick. Dowels everything together. Okay, see how it goes in tight? That's called doweling. Okay, that's ready for 2 nuts on that one. These 2 down here are the other 2 dowels. And these are just regular bolts. Not exactly tight, but so they go. Oh shit. You know what I forgot, don't you? Hopefully it goes in there. I knew I'd forget that. Damn it. Ooh, it just makes it. It does fit. Alright. Success. I know on one model it doesn't. Must be on ULs. 45s it does work. Alright. Good deal. Almost screwed up. Alright. Let's take a look. Okay, let's see here. One goes there. We need some nuts. Now these are 1/4" thread, 1/4 24 thread actually, which is oddball, but they're 1/2" diameter nuts, so they have pretty good head diameter. There's a very shallow shoulder that goes toward the inside of the case. The outside one has a little chamfer to it, but it's so thin you can barely see it. But it is there. Very faint. You want to tighten your dowels first. Pulls the case in square. We didn't need that, did we? Yeah. Goes. Keep them fairly equal. Now we're going on tight. Couple threads hanging out there. Couple threads out there. Yeah, about equal. Torque on them. Get these. Okay, sure rotates over. Appears to be rotating. Get the bolts in. Equalize them a little bit. There we go. All right. Should have them all in there now. Now go ahead and torque these in. And the gorilla strength there. tight. Yep, that's pretty good. Yep. That's good. Yep. Now we're going to get that one in there. Even my shaved wrench is going to fit in there. Let's see, where's my other one? Yep, no different. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit harder to torque. Yeah, it's not moving on that side, so it torques pretty easy actually. And this one here looks like it's got enough room. Yep. Oh, it's stretching that one. Okay, make sure everything turns over nice and freely. Still appears to be working. Still got our end play in there like we should have. Put that washer back on there. Alright, that looks pretty good. So we want to see a nice layer of stuff squeezing out. Your sealer. So you don't have a large amount, but you got a nice even layer all the way around. So it looks pretty good. So that way you know it's sealing up. It's got enough sealer all the way around. Now what you see in here is probably on the inside of the case also, which is what you don't want to have. See how it goes on the inside also. So that's why you don't want to put too much in there. If you put too much in there, all that crap goes everywhere. You don't want that everywhere. Alright, so now we get to go ahead and clean this up. So I just take a towel, and smear it around a little bit like that, and it pretty much rubs off, like that. Go down inside the motor, do the same thing. Wipe it off the rod if you get on the rod. Nice about the 3-bone, it breaks up. Basically pulverizes and goes away. Small little pieces, so no long stringy rubber bands like silicone does, or big old rings that are everywhere. Plug up everything inside. That's why I don't like silicone. Ooh. Get the rod way up there. Alright, so once you get the important stuff off, everything else is cosmetic. So you can either leave it, take it off, clean up later, your choice. It pretty much will disappear. A little bit of brake clean on there will clean it up pretty quickly. So I just pretty much just rub on it a little bit with a rag. So like this. Pretty much comes off on the rag. Rub it back and forth a little bit. Takes away most of it down. It's sharp up there. So a little dab of brake clean will actually it'll cut it. That's what you want to do. Down inside there, I just leave it. Up on top, you can kind of see it. I wipe it. Over here, you got more access to it on this side right there. We'll come back to that one. Just wipe off a little bit of it. The rest will just rub on. There you go. All right, I'll continue here for a few minutes. We'll be back.